All right, guys, how's it going today? We're at Tannehill Volks Jam in Alabama. I'm here with Chris White. If you guys don't know Chris, that's Riverbank Customs. They're in Pell City, Alabama. We figured we'd have a conversation today. Chris and I became friends over the last couple of years, and one of the things that we've noticed about YouTube channels is that you don't always know the people behind the camera. You might know that they love Volkswagens, or they love sports, or they love this or that, but you may not know anything personal about them. So we're going to cover some stuff like that today, and we're going to, of course, talk about shows and a couple things like that as well. But I really wanted to start it off by thanking Chris for helping me out with Bugs on the Bayou. I've got my shirt on, which people joke that I wear every day, which I might wear it 3 or 4 days a week. But we're proud of Bugs on the Bayou show in Niceville, Florida, and we've continued to grow that with the help of those guys and everybody else in the scene. So let's talk about Chris. That's what we're going to start with. Chris, you own Riverbank Customs.
I do.
You're in Pell City, Alabama.
That's it,
and you guys specialize in Volkswagens, right?
We do. We're kind of doing an air cool restoration. We do pretty much anything Volkswagen related. We stick kind of to the air cool. I was told one time, stick to what you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I'm venturing out into the water cool stuff, but for right now, we're an air cool restoration shop.
Well, and everybody here, if you went by his tent, there's been a lot of people coming by and talking to Chris and them. And we were talking about earlier with some other folks that whenever you're on there doing social media and you're doing YouTube and stuff, you come to these shows and people will actually come up to you and go, oh, hey, I saw you on YouTube, or I saw you here or there on social media, and I really wanted to meet you. So that's kind of how my thought was about us getting to know Chris. One of the things I recently learned about Chris is that his career is he works in a factory. He works in a Honda plant. So how long have you worked there?
So I've been with Honda manufacturing for 21 years.
That's a long time.
It's a long time, but working in the manufacturing in the assembly line style, 8 hours, it's a long 8 hours. Sometimes it's 10 or 12.
Yeah.
But the last 21 years have flown by.
Yeah, time goes by fast.
I can remember when we started to get hired on Honda, we did a training program through the state of Alabama.
Okay.
So you had to be accepted in the training, then you had to be hired, then you got a hire date, and I can remember being so excited. Honda was the answer to all my dreams. Honda was the answer to my prayers.
Right.
Here it is, 21 years later. I started out on an assembly line. I was a repair technician for 12 years, got to work with some great people.
Awesome.
Learned a lot about the technical side of modern day vehicles and modern manufacturing.
Right.
So very, very blessed to be where I'm at.
Well, that might come in handy if you decide you want to work on water cooled stuff.
It does.
It
does.
So that's really cool. Another thing too that I actually most people don't know much about my family life, but my wife and I are kind of singular. We don't have a lot of family. My wife and I have been married 28 years.
That's good.
It's a long time, working on 30 years. A lot of good, a lot of bad. But I honestly don't know nothing about Chris's family. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about your family.
So, family is a big thing to me. I've been very blessed. I want to start with my mother and daddy, because both of them have done passed on. They've crossed over into the pearly gates.
Amen.
I know where they're both at, and I'll see them again one day.
Yeah.
I was so blessed. Every time my daddy moved, I moved. Everything daddy done, I was a part of.
That's great.
And working with daddy in the shop or whatever we were doing, like I said in Joe Person's podcast, in the VW podcast.
Oh, yeah.
When daddy moved, I moved, and that's what built me. That's what started my career where I'm at now in the Volkswagen community and at Honda.
Great, yeah.
But working with my mother and my daddy, I always thought my daddy was the hardest worker in the world. But looking back, I got my work ethic from my mom.
Oh, interesting.
She was incredible. I mean, she was a stay-at-home mom the first part of my life. But as we got older, me and my brother Keith got older, mother went to work, but she still did everything.
Right, yes.
So fast
She's
forward,
working 3 jobs.
Yes. So fast forward, 1994, I met my wife Becky, and I always pray to God for a blonde-headed, blue-eyed wife. That's just always. Call it a fantasy, call it a dream, but that's what I believe.
We all got our preferences.
Yes. So again, God blessed me with 2 of them.
That's
my
great.
wife's blonde-headed, blue-eyed. My daughter's blonde-headed, blue-eyed, and they're more like sisters than they are mother and daughter. But I've been very blessed. My son Blake, he's just. I mean, both my kids are very incredible. They're very successful. They're there when I need them.
Now, how old are they now?
Blake is, and I'll probably get this wrong. Blake is 28.
Okay.
Emily just turned 23 this past week.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, I couldn't be more proud of them.
That's awesome,
Both
man.
of them have college degrees. Both of them have careers.
That's great.
They're doing great. Emily hit me with a YouTube channel when we first got started.
Okay.
Because I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Blake, he's just up the street. If I call him and I say, hey, I'm in a bind, I need help, he's right there. Now,
That's
he works
great.
on the road, but he's right there to help me.
That's awesome.
But Becky, she's very supportive. A lot of times I'm on the road doing these shows and traveling, or I spend a lot of long hours in the shop. Not one time did she ever fuss about, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that.
That's very important too.
So,
it's hard whenever you have somebody that is fighting against that.
Yes.
If you have that support, it makes it easier for you, and it also makes it easier to have success at it.
Yes, she's very supportive. I told a friend of mine who was kind of an entrepreneur starting his own thing, if you don't have your spouse, your wife on board, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah, you will. You end up failing, no doubt about it. Well, that's cool, man. I love hearing that too. So your kids are pretty much grown now.
Yep.
And eventually you'll have grandkids coming in down the road, maybe.
Dude, that's another subject. we are hoping and praying so much for that.
I know that
I had a
would
lady
be.
at work tell me the other day, one of my quality ladies at the plant. She said, when you have grandkids, you are going to be ruined.
You're gonna spoil them rotten.
Spoil them rotten. So something you don't know, maybe we shared this, but I don't think you know much about it. You run a lawn service.
I do. I run a lawn service.
This morning you said you cut 60 yards this week.
I did. Yeah.
All right. When my kids were when Blake was born in '97, Becky and I had our first house.
Okay.
So here we are, a young couple. We're, both scared to death. We got a child, we got a baby, we got a mortgage. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah.
And
a lot of stress.
I had a brand new Craftsman lawnmower, Kohler engine, 42-inch mower. I said, good work.
Yeah, there you go.
We bought a brand new living room set, and she'll remember this and she'll laugh at it. We have a brand new living room set, $1,700. And I said,
I love it.
I said, I tell you what, sport, because we're always kind of picking at money. I said, I bet you I paid that living room set off in cash before the end of the summer. You can't do that. I did.
I love it.
Not only did I do that, I bought my two first pieces of commercial equipment at the beginning of the next season.
That's phenomenal. How long did you do that?
For about 8 years.
Okay, then you got on that Honda?
And when I got on the Honda was just, I needed to be focused on Honda.
Oh yeah, I get it, totally. Yeah, I was actually, for people that don't know, I was in the car business a long time, wholesale, retail, car salesman, and in the last 7 years I was wholesaling to other dealers. And then I started the lawn company, and I've been at that now 16 years. I grew it pretty big. I'm not sure if we talked about this, but I grew it pretty large. I had a lot of help, and I was out of the truck. I didn't do any of the work myself for about 6 years, and I strictly just managed it. And then one day I realized that my help was the stress. So I decided, let's just nix the help and go back to the old days and just mow on your own. So I sold it all off, and at that time I went down to 50 yards. And now I keep saying, Holly keeps telling me, my wife, you got to quit taking yards. So now I'm back up to about 70 that I do by myself, solo, all by myself. So some weeks I do more than others. Like this week I did a lot more because I want to take the weekend off. But then next week I might only do 30 or 35, and then I'll have a little slower week. So, but I'm a proponent of doing your own thing, working for yourself if you can. It's the reason I can do things like this. I can hang out with my friends. I can do Volkswagen shows, and it's really the reason I have the freedom that I have. So working for yourself is an awesome thing for sure. One of the other things I wanted to talk about with Chris that him and I talked about in person, and he actually said, we should have talked about that on camera. So I think he's right. I recently, in the last year or so, have really increased my faith in Christ and spent a lot more time thinking about that, a lot more time praying on it, a lot more time getting in my Bible and studying about the saints and a lot of the things that are important in it, and taking communion. So Chris has a faith as well, and I think that that's important. I know for myself, I don't know if my wife and I would have made it to 28 years had she not had the faith that she did and the beliefs that she had in the marriage and the work that it takes to do it, and that it should be centered in that. So I just wanted to kind of make people aware of that too. I told Chris, I I haven't worn jewelry in 25 years, and things have gotten serious lately enough that I said, you know what, I need to show that I'm a follower of Jesus. And so I decided to start wearing this crucifix for that reason. So I figured that was a good idea too. Now Chris has that same faith, and I don't know if there's anything he really wants to talk about with it, but you're more than welcome to do that if you'd like to.
So again, you hear me talk about my belief in the power of prayer so much. But just this past week, and every day is a new struggle.
Oh yeah.
You have to stay in the Word, and I struggle with that because I just stay so busy. But
I think we all do.
That talk with God makes a difference.
It does.
Every day.
Absolutely.
I start my day every day. I end my day every day with prayer. Now, it may not be vocal. It may not be out loud. But that few minutes, that's when we're in God.
Yeah, definitely.
But just this past week, prime example. We all knew this show was coming up. We all knew how big, how important this show was. Huge thanks to Adam Simpson, who's really worked hard to make this happen.
Yeah, Adam does a great job.
He does a great job.
20 years this year.
So, week before last, I got invited to a men's retreat, a men's conference at Church of Highlands with me and my wife.
Yeah. Volkswagen going by.
So, I invited some other people, and we began to make plans. Well, one thing led to another, and this one couldn't go, and that one couldn't go. But me and Howard Hillier, one of our good friends, he was able to attend. And when we got there, of course, Church of Highlands is big. They fed us. I mean, there was so many people, so much food. The church was packed. It was standing room only. It was just an incredible event. But to feel the presence of God,
yes, in
a room full of godly men, of Christian men,
yes,
and just to feel that movement. But and it's a part of every men's retreat. But it's one of my favorite Bible verses. It's one of my favorite scriptures. But it talks about this right here: iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
As Christian men, we hold each other accountable.
Right.
Hey, brother. What do you do?
Yeah, why are you doing this? Yeah.
What was you thinking?
And we all need somebody to keep us accountable here on this earth, you know?
Yes.
No doubt. Well, I'm glad you got to go to that. I actually saw your video that you made saying that you guys were going to go. And that's actually my first thought was, oh, man, we really need to talk about that, especially since I felt like I'm renewing my relationship, you know, where you sound like you've been in that for quite a while and been walking that walk where I think that's the thing is we all do, or we wouldn't need the grace, you know, and we wouldn't need it. We wouldn't need the blood if it wasn't for that. So we figured that when I saw you do that, I'm like, you know what, that's definitely needs something that we need to talk about. So, but I'm really proud of that. I know Chris is too. So YouTube channel talk. I'm Bugs on the Bayou guy on YouTube. Chris is obviously Riverbank Customs on YouTube. Chris has been busting it on there this last year or two, and he's gotten his 1,000 subscribers, so he's made that milestone. How many are you at now total?
Yesterday we were at 1,015 subscribers.
Wow, 1,015 subscribers. Me I think I got 97. So I got a long way to go, but I'm going to get there, hopefully with Chris's help.
Yes.
But one of the things we wanted to talk about was Chris is only 1,200 hours basically away from monetizing.
Yep. So the thing about YouTube, it's a daily grind. You think, well, just making videos and posting, okay, you are, and that's fun.
Yeah, that part's fun.
When you try to do it, when you try to take it to a different level, it becomes a small business. It becomes a large business.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't want to just really say it's all about the money, but there's a lot of money being made on YouTube. There's a lot of people who are living their daily grind behind a camera.
Yeah.
They're telling their story.
Definitely.
And that's become their 9 to 5.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's kind of a goal of mine because I always wanted to be self-employed.
Yeah.
And maybe it's being a content creator on YouTube, but the requirement to be monetized for long videos. They call them short. They got short videos and then long videos. For a long video, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, but you have to have 4,000 watch time hours.
Oh wow! Okay.
In a continuous rotation.
Oh wow!
Meaning in 365 days.
Okay.
So if I gain 1,000 today, well, on that same day a year ago, 2,000 might have fell off.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
It is. Yeah, no doubt.
You have to make videos that people want to watch.
Right. Yeah.
You can't
definitely.
you can't just make a silly video and put it out there and hope for great results.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah.
But
that's not the norm, though.
no, people win the lottery too.
Right.
I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's tough, and I started doing YouTube right after COVID.
Okay.
I stumbled across this YouTube channel called VW Live.
Okay.
It's a group of guys. It's a father and son team in Texas, and they do the Volkswagen thing. But it's just fun to watch. And I remember thinking, if they can do this, so can I.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it's.
Well, I love it, man. I actually kind of just fell into it because I do the Pensacola VW happenings,
Yep.
so we do our events there. I work with Rare Air in Pensacola. I do events for them. And then when I started Bugs on the Bayou, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not really recording it. And so I had other people tell me, like, you're wasting opportunity. You need to do this, to do a YouTube channel.
I'll never forget when the first year, I didn't even bring a car. Stephen and I jumped in my truck, drove down to Rare Air to Five Flags.
Yeah. That's
And-
coming up in October.
So we was just checking everything out, just hanging out, and all of a sudden you rode by, and I had seen your face. I didn't know the name and the face
Yeah.
together. So I stopped you and I said, "Hey, is this your show?" And you said you explained to me what it was and all that, and we talked for a few minutes. And you went on about you was handing out flyers for Bugs on the Bayou.
Yeah. That
And
was
I
the first
thought-
year that I took it over.
I thought right then, I thought, man, that joke he's putting into that.
Yeah, that's
So-
I'm not afraid of that part of it,
That's the fun part.
And I enjoy talking to people and meeting
Yep.
people. That's one of my joys in life. I get that from my dad. There was good and bad you get from your parents. That's one thing I got great from my dad because he literally can go in any business, any bar, any restaurant, and in 5 minutes he's made a friend there.
That's cool.
And so I inherited that gene for sure. So I figured I should use it for this. But I was actually on a couple of podcasts this last year. One is VW Jawbreaker. That's Gary Miller. A lot of you guys probably follow Gary. And then also Brewdub. Brewdub continues to grow and do some awesome videos as well. So check out those guys. But they both encouraged me to go ahead and get the YouTube channel going. And I'm glad they did. It's been a lot of fun. I'm in the infant stages of it. But it's a lot of fun. And it's also an excuse for things like this, to get together, talk to my friends, hang out. And we just recorded at the same time. So that's a good thing. All right, so show talk.
Yes.
I know you're going to go to, I'm going to say it wrong,
I say
Saskatchewan Valley
Okay.
VW show.
You say it that way. I'm gonna say it the way I thought. Is it that way or is it? I can't even say it. Sasquatchy Valley. I call it long. I just say the Long Restoration Show.
So yeah, this show is in Dunlap, Tennessee. It's sponsored by or ran by Long Restoration. They are the weekend of September 20th. We have a caravan of people coming from Pensacola. Right now I think we have 3 or 4 Vanagons that we're all going to travel. We're actually going to stop in Moody, Alabama at Richard Hill's little compound at his house. And then we're going to meet up with some other guys and we're going to cruise up to the Dunlap show. They have a lot of little stuff going on throughout the weekend. They're doing a cruise Friday. They're going to a local distillery. If I'm not mistaken, it's the only legal moonshine distillery in the state of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I think that,
you're right.
Yeah, and so we're going to do that, and they're going to block off the streets and have a police escort for us and everything. And then Saturday morning, they're doing a breakfast cruise to breakfast, and then the show on Saturday. There is camping and all that stuff. You can find their event page, Saskatchewan Valley
What he said.
VW Rally on Facebook, on the event page. You can find them there. So the other show I wanted to mention was the Rare Air Pensacola show. It's coming up. It's the second weekend in October in Pensacola, Florida, at Five Flag Speedway. Chris just mentioned that. I know he's been a few times.
Yeah.
That show this year is going to be their 29th. I think it's the 29th or the 30th year. That show has been around a long time. It is a very good, well put on show. It's at a speedway there in Pensacola that is world famous. It's one of the most famous small tracks in the country. So if you guys get a chance to come to that, there's camping, there's hotels nearby, all that stuff, and you can find them on Facebook as well. Rare Air Emerald Coast Volkswagen Club, and you guys can talk about that.
Some of the best food you'll ever eat.
Yeah, the New Orleans crew cooks up some serious food. There's also a group called Grub Doves that does a bunch of food. Last year, they did 2 whole pigs on a spit and a bunch of grilled chicken, and they have fryers there and fry up a bunch of stuff. So yeah, you guys come and check that out. Chris, is there any shows that you know about that I don't know about that you'd want to mention?
So those are the shows that we're going to be at. You also got Circle Your Wagons coming up in Sevierville.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly. I'd say the date, but I'd say it wrong.
It's in October though, right?
It's in October.
Okay. I want to say it's the first weekend in October.
It's a really big show. And then, of course, you got Bug Jam coming up.
Yeah, Bug Jam.
If you're in the Volkswagen community, if you're a Volkswagen enthusiast, I highly, highly encourage you to attend Bug Jam, because the Volkswagen community in South Florida.
Oh,
it's just strong.
Yeah, outside of California, it's probably the
strong.
strongest one.
And you see so many cars. All the big name builders are there. Everybody's there. It's kind of the end of the season, but it is so much fun.
And that's the weekend of November 10th.
Yes, November 9th, 10th, right in that weekend. Looking forward to being there. We have a booth set up, come by. But I wanted to talk about something. We was talking about the Long's Restoration Show at Sequatchie Valley.
Yeah.
So you mentioned cruising.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've kind of adapted here, just kind of making changes, trying to make improvements, trying to get more people involved. The shows are fun.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's fun. But let's be honest, it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
Sitting still out here. Yeah. Some people in the shade, whatever.
I'm glad we're in the shade right now.
Yeah. So I love the cruise part.
Yeah.
These cars were made to be driven.
They are.
Everybody's worried about, well, it's going to break down. If you break down, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Somebody will fix it.
That's what we tell everybody too, and we've done it a lot of times over the years.
So you're starting to see that more and more at shows. People are starting to do more and more cruises. Just like we did at your show last year. That was a great time.
I've made that a staple in Pensacola. That's actually the reason that Pensacola VW Happenings, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Because the Rare Air Club there, they've been around forever and they do phenomenal stuff. They have a tech session once a month where they teach people how to work on the cars. And they do a lot of good things, but they weren't really doing much cruising. So I started doing all these cruises. And I'm like you. My main focus with my Volkswagen is wanting to get it out and drive it. You know, working on it's okay, but I'd much rather be driving it.
So tell me, and I was going to do something I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
Tell me about VW Happy. Your Saturday night VW. Hot VW Happy?
Yeah. Hot VW Nights, Pensacola.
VW Happy.
Yeah. Basically, when I started Pensacola VW Happenings, I filled a niche for the area. So I started it, and I basically became the event coordinator, if you will. So we call it the sister club to the Rare Air Show, or Rare Air Club. And basically anything they need done that's associated with events, cruising, get-togethers, I put it on, and then they promote it, and I promote it. And it works really good. You know, Wild Bill Tucker, a lot of people all watching probably know Wild Bill. He was the president of Rare Air for 25 years. When I started that, I went right to Bill and said, hey, first off, I want to let you know, like, this isn't another club. This isn't a competition. I just want to fill a niche for the community, you know? And it grew and grew and grew. And now, like, we did Hot VW Nights a few weeks ago. And we hosted an event with food trucks, and we had water slides. We had a water balloon fight for the kids, which turned out hilarious. I think I got soaked more than anybody else. I was soaked from head to toe. My shoes and socks were soaked. But we had a great time, and we had 40 Volkswagens come out. And that's just for a little local get-together. So that's kind of how Bugs on the Bayou came about in the first place, because I knew I had support. I had people that would be willing to help. And that was Steve's biggest issue when he shut down, was he just didn't have enough help to do the show. So when we started became its own thing.
You have to build. It goes back to building the community.
You do.
It's not easy running a show. I've never done it personally. I've been a part of a lot of shows. My mother and daddy used to put on shows there in my local town when I was growing up.
Yeah, okay.
But to be successful, you need a team.
Yeah, you do. You
hear people talk about so much. It takes a tribe to raise a child.
Yeah.
Well, in today's world, anything you want to do big, it takes a team.
It does, and I feel like we have an awesome team. I mean, I have an awesome group of friends, that are willing to do it and willing to help. And if you've ever done a Volkswagen show, the downside is if you're a big Volkswagen person and you work the show and you work it a few years in a row, you never get to see the show.
Nope.
You strictly are behind that booth working. But they're willing to do that for me because we all attend other shows. Then we can, hang out and have a good time. But our show this last year, I would say we run it on a minimal amount of people compared to other shows. I don't have people that park cars because I don't really believe in that. I just let everybody park where they want, and they line up. And generally what's funny is people know to just get in lines and line up correctly. You don't need 10 people parking cars. And then my wife essentially has ran the swag booth the last couple years. And I have my friend Shannon Brooks who runs the registration, and he has a couple guys that help. So I think our total last year to run our whole show was only about 10 or 12 people.
So something I want to talk to you about, and this is a commitment. This is talking on this camera. Our YouTube channel.
Another commitment.
So we talked about this the other day about the sponsorship.
Okay.
We don't have to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
But I want you, and I tell people this all the time. And you there again, people are like, okay, it's crazy. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yep. I hear that a lot.
I'm on board with you. I see what you're doing. I see you putting in the hard work. I tell you again, this man works harder at putting on a show than anybody I've seen.
Thank you.
Robbie goes after you.
Yeah, he does. Robbie and I are right here.
So,
Veto getaway.
But I want to be a part of it.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to be part of that.
I love it.
I want to be a part of that Bozeman Bayou team.
Well, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to grow. And I think I mentioned to you that we were lucky enough to get locked in with the city of Niceville.
Yeah.
The first, second, and third, or the first weekend in May of every year is our weekend from here until eternity. So we're not going anywhere. We're only going to grow it and get bigger and better, and people have a better time. That's the main thing. And for me, one of the reasons we've talked about before, I don't know if we did earlier, we're 26 minutes in, so I don't know if I mentioned this, but our camping is free. And that's something I want to stick to.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people, other shows, and people go, oh, you're missing out on making money on that. Why don't you charge this much or that show? I'm like, I don't care about making money. It's not about that for me. It's about putting on a show and people having a good time. That's the only thing that matters to me. So basically our goal every year is to make a little money to fund the next season.
Yes.
And then we do a charity that we're going to do food drive to, which I do a charity drive for pretty much every event I do. And then the other part of our finances, which people probably would like to know this, go to the city of Niceville, and we help fund, or actually close to all the way fund, their 4th of July fireworks. The money goes directly to Niceville for them to fund buying the fireworks to let off. So that's what we did last year, and they were happy as can be. I think we ended up giving them $2,000. And over and beyond that, I really just don't care about making money. It's not about that for me. And I don't care if that's what you're about. I'm a free capitalist. But for a Volkswagen show, that's not what I'm about.
We were at a show, and I don't even remember where we was at. And we were talking about, everybody's been asking, when you gonna do a show? When you gonna do it? And honestly,
you're like, are you sure you want to do that?
I want to, really, but I want to do something different.
Yeah.
So there's more to come about that. There's things being put in place.
Stay tuned to the channels for that.
I had a gentleman make a comment, why you want to do that? Because we've already got this. I get that.
Yeah.
But if we can create an event, if we can create another event for all the Volkswagen community to get together.
Yes.
Somewhere to go and hang out. And another event, and another event, and
Yeah.
another event.
The more the merrier,
That's
man.
what it's all about.
Yeah, it really is.
It's not about my event's bigger than yours, right? What was the car count? It's not about that.
No, it really
It's not
isn't.
about that.
In the end, it is like, I know you especially lately, you and I have always talked about building the community. And I know
Yes.
that's a term that you use a lot. And I think that that's really the key to it. And here's one of the reasons why. So whenever I started hanging out with the Rare Air Club, the majority of the members at that time were 60 years old plus. And now, if you look at our community in Pensacola, Rare Air and the Pensacola VW happenings, we literally have members. Actually, Aiden, I just interviewed him. He's 16. And we have them from 16 to 85 and everything in between. And now, this is something that I've driven home to people, is that we cannot drive a division between the water-cooled and the air-cooled community. There for years really was. In our area, I mean, I don't know about other areas, but in our area, the water-cooled people didn't even feel welcome. And I came in and was like, I'm putting a stop to that. We're going to make them welcome. Well, guess what? Now I own 2 water cools. So now that's part of it. They're going to have to get used to it. But, you know, we did the hot VW nights. And we had 40 cars. About 10 or 12 of those were water cooled. And so that shows me right there, we're starting to build that community. Well, for the future, let's say 25 years from now, a 2004 GTI is going to be a classic.
That's funny you talking about that. Because
Yeah.
just in the last 2 weeks, and it's something I've been kind of looking at, and Steve and I talked about it, and then it just kind of happened. So, you take Stripes, a car that I built last summer, a car that I showed many times, which is I've already sold and moved on. But you take Stripes, it's a 74, it's a late model beater.
Yep.
Okay, that car's 50 years old.
Yeah.
So how many of these cars are actually going to make it 100 years?
Right.
Unless they're
Yes.
sitting in a museum somewhere.
Right.
So you got to take it. You got to find out that next thing.
It is.
So,
And also, I don't know if you've noticed this where you're at, but we've noticed that we get the water-cooled guys, the younger guys involved, and then they find out these air-cooled cars are really cool.
Yep.
Like
Happens every
a
time.
guy that we know, Freddie, he was a water-cooled guy, and he just bought a bay window from a buddy of ours, and now he's been to 3 events in his bay window. So you're building the community both, when you do it that way.
I'm actually looking because I want to get. My wife's not going to tell me if she will. She has. She used to ride with me in Stripes all the time, but it's hot. And she gets miserable real fast. So I'm not going to make her suffer through no air conditioning. She's just not accustomed to it.
Yeah,
Not her
definitely.
thing.
I get it.
So I've been looking at buying a new model beater.
Yeah.
Number one, I want to convert it.
Oh, I like it.
So
yeah.
maybe that's in the future for Riverbank. We'll see. But that's gonna be the up and coming thing.
Yeah, that's
these new model Beetles,
yeah.
the GTIs. What does it take? What does it take to make them cool?
Yeah, that's exactly
so
right.
last week, Howard, him and his wife Howard.
Okay.
So just out of the blue, he showed up at the shop, and there was a couple of air coolers pulled up there to the door that I was working on, and he just pulled right up in the middle of them. In his new model beater.
Oh yeah.
And dude, it was so cool because the vibe just flowed.
Yeah,
it wasn't like air cooled, water cooled, air cooled. It just flowed.
Yep, that's it.
That's a sign right there.
It is. I started using about 3 years ago on my page when I was promoting Pensacola VW happenings. I started saying, water or air, we don't care.
I like that.
And I've kind of just stuck with that. I've joked about getting it tattooed on me, because that's the way I feel about it. I think all of them are cool and all of them are fun and all of them connect us in some way.
Yes.
And the guys that I meet that are 15 and 16-year-old, when they see a new body Beetle from a few years ago, they go, oh man, one of my friends when I was a kid, our mom rode us around in that, just like we would about something from the 70s or the 80s.
Everybody has those
So
stories.
when all those stories continue down the line, then the community continues to grow. But man, I'll tell you what, Chris, honestly, man, I feel really lucky, number one, like really blessed to have met you and to met the guys from Longs and met Robbie. You guys have all been super supportive of me and what I do, and I hope that you guys feel the same way, man. But this is really what it's about for me, is the relationships, and I know you and I have talked about this before. The Volkswagen community is super unique in that a lot of us, I definitely include myself in this, the people is what made me stick around.
Yes.
The cars are great, and they're fun, and I enjoy them. And I love my Vanagon, and I love camping. That's probably my favorite part of it. But the people are the reason I keep coming back every single time. So
I've always had a thought in my mind as chasing my dreams. Trying to be successful at something. It's something. Whether it was cutting grass, working on Honda, or building Volkswagens. Surround yourself with good people.
That's it.
It's building that team. It's building that community. Surround yourself with people who share the same ideas and dreams.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what we're doing.
I agree, man. Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, we've done 33 minutes. I think that's pretty good.
That's great.
Chris is easy to talk to. I obviously talk too much. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. This will be on Chris's channel, on Riverbank Customs on YouTube. And I'm also going to put it on my channel as well, Bugs on the Bayou guy on YouTube. And if you guys would, also check out bugsonthebayou.com for all my show information. That has everything on it, event page, sponsors, the charities we give to, all that kind of stuff on there too as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys. We'll be covering more about the show later. So tune into the full videos on the YouTube channels. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Don't forget, make plans to attend. Come by and see us. Pick up some merch, whatever you're interested in. It's the Squatchy Valley.
Yep.
Rare Air Wagons.
Yep.
Rare Air, Bug Jam, and then we'll start next season off in Brandon, Florida, with a VW getaway.
Yeah,
Huge
Robbie
shout out to
Johnson.
Robbie Johnson.
What's up, Robbie? Yeah,
Hey.
we'll be seeing you there. I'm looking forward to this. Will be my first year attending that show, and I will actually be giving away a sponsor's trophy, my favorite that I pick out. So hopefully you see you guys there. And then just continue on the show thing. We'll be rolling all the way into next year.
Yep.
I know you guys will be at NoDo probably.
We're planning on
If you've
doing
never
NoDo.
been to NoDo, I know he said how much he loves Bug Jam. I'm the NoDo guy. I think NoDo's the best there is. It's phenomenal. And well, I might as well plug something else that I like to plug. So the NoDo show has always traditionally had all different shows all weekend. So you got a Bay Window Bus Show, the Southeastern Bay Window Rally. You have the Bully Brigade, which is all split window buses. You have the Dubs by the River, which is all different kinds of Volkswagens, anything you can think of. Well, this year, I'm putting on the first annual Vanagon Roundup. It'll be a meeting of Vanagon owners. It's going to be at Giuseppe's Pizza, world famous Giuseppe's Pizza on Saturday morning. So look for us on the NoDo page, and we'll be putting that on too. So you guys are going to get sick of seeing us and sick of hearing from us. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.